Welcome to Atlanta Tarot. This is the tarot forecast for Gemini for the month of December, including late November 2023. So Gemini, welcome. So we are in the sign of Sagittarius at the moment, which is your polar opposite sign. So you often get along really well with this energy. It's a fire sign, so very much action, which you love, and forward movement, which you love. So let's see what you are in, or you're in your house, 7th house, which is the house of relationships. So all matters and issues with relationships will be coming through in this 4 weeks, Gemini. So let's have a look. The energy is the Ace of Cups. So there is indeed a very much a soulmate-ish kind of energy here. Now, if it isn't a soulmate energy and you already have your soulmate, it's time to concentrate on that person or that soulmate. But it also could be, conversely, it could be a passion of yours, something you really like doing. It's a hobby that's turned into a job. It's something that you know that you want to spend a lot of your time, any moment you can grab to, you know, learn more about. So either of those things, Gemini, but we are focusing on relationships. So for those of you who aren't interested, well, this is what's going on. So let's have a look with your spread and see what comes up with your focus on, spotlight on, should I say, the relationships. Okey-doke. Where you are right now, Gemini, is 8 of Wands. Wow. Obstacle free. No obstructions, no obstacles. Things just moving along. And this is a Sagittarian card indeed. Actually starting tomorrow, which is the 23rd of November. So it looks really great. Your relationship seems to be great here as well. Everything's going well. There's no sort of, you know, little obstacles that are jumping in the way, little bits of this and that, little bits of fighting or little bits of disagreement with this card for the next week. I'm saying 23rd to 30th. This is a really good energy to have around because things just seem to flow unobstructed. So really nice card. It can be a travel card as well for some people, which is also a great leveler, isn't it? Get on a plane and just get away from all of the usual mundane. Okay, so beautiful card. And if you haven't met somebody, Gemini, this could be, this is quite auspicious for meeting someone or someone sort of making an offer to you in terms of a relationship, beginning of one, or just a connection there. Let's see the influencing card that influences not only the 8 of Wands, where you are, and the rest of the reading. And we have the Emperor. So the Emperor is a massive big card, as you can see. So major card, major energy. So the Emperor has come in today, and he's a lot about control. He's a lot about discipline and how you get to the top. So in terms of relationship too, we can look at, you know, all the different issues that come up in relationships with people. It can be really difficult with some people, you know, different perspectives, different everything. There can be squabbles and quarrels about things, about control and this and that. But when the Emperor comes in, and you can ask any couple, particularly who've been together quite a long time, how, you know, the history of their story is, it's been ups and downs. It's never just one beautiful fairy tale Hollywood movie story. It's been one of you know, consistent putting in and sort of getting to where you want to be. So very powerful card here. It's an Aries, it's the card for the Aries people, so it's also a very independent. It can be quite an aggressive energy as well. So if you're sort of the person on the receiving end of this aggressive kind of energy from the Emperor, you have to sort of stand back and realise where that, it's very masculine as well, so you have to stand back and see where that is actually coming from. You know, holistically. Don't just look at it, oh, that guy's or that my husband's a control freak, or vice versa, or the wife could be, or whoever in the relationship. They usually say one's the boss and the other one just, you know, goes along because that's what they do. Yeah, but it's a very powerful card. So let's just see what other cards come up to sort of give us a picture of what's going on with this Emperor. But in terms of relationship, it's quite, it makes sense, because it's all about a lot of hard work to get to where you want to go. Okay, let's see what was going on for you in October, November time, Scorpio season, which is quite trying for most of us. Four of Swords, so sitting out a bit, just, you know, taking a bit of a breather, being in life, but just being an observer, not a participant, just hanging back a bit and going, oh, you know, I really need to conserve my energy, especially with Gemini, their mental energy, because you can go so fast sometimes, you know, other people and other energy, people can't keep up with that energy and all those ideas and plans and communications. Other, you know, your significant other might battle with that sometimes. So this one has suggested that you have sort of pulled back a bit and you've just been sitting back there and going, okay, I'm just observing. I'm not here, but I'm here, but I'm watching what goes on and the dynamics, especially with this Emperor here too. Sometimes it's the best way to sort of look at that kind of energy in your relationship and just watch it for a bit and then see how it fits in with you and try and do something about it to sort of, you know, level it out, harmonise it maybe. Recent influences. And we have the beautiful Ace of Wands, so energy's moving forward, lots of energy coming in for you. Of course, with Sagittarius, it's fire, so things moving at a quick rate, lots of things going on. Whereas up here, you may have felt a bit like, no, I'm not doing it, I'm just kicking back for a while. And in comes the Ace of Wands, just recently, to say, okay, time's over, you know, get back on the horse. You've got all these things to sort of achieve now. You've had a bit of a rest. Now it's time for, you know, movement, action, positive stuff coming in. It can be connections with people as well, just reigniting, especially with relationships and things sort of moving from a retrograde sort of stance to a forward moving energy. Okay, let's now have a look at the lesson you'll be learning about your relationships. Judgment. Karmic debt has been paid. So second chance, in other words. So karma is just what you put in, you get out. So if you haven't been putting in, your karmic debt will still be running, won't it? If you have been, your karmic debt's paid and you're like, right, that bill's paid, but it's karma. So it's how you apprehend the world, what, you know, you reap what you sow. So that is saying a clear slate for those of you who have been putting in, and for those who haven't, well, then it's going to be ongoing until you can sort of clear that karmic debt and stand up and go, yeah, but I kind of caused some of that myself and I need to kind of work on that kind of thing. It's very simple. It's not complicated. It's like do unto others as they would do unto you. You know, would you like it? No. Well, don't do it. That kind of story. But it's a very positive card. And once again, it's a big card. So it's a big energy to kind of try and work through this 4 weeks to sort of, you know, be mindful of your karma. Be mindful of what you put out there. You will get back, for positive or negative, no matter what. It does come back. Okay. First week of December, near future, we have Temperance, Sagittarian card yet again, divine time. So if you're looking for the right time to move, now is the hour. This is the card that you have to focus on and use the energy, a big card once again. So it's all about, you know, just moving on at the right time. Oftentimes it's just not the right time, so people get in a knot because they think, well, why didn't it work? Well, basically, she didn't come along and sort of say, well, yeah, okay, it's the right time now. So very important to remember too, everything is about timing where we live here. Beautiful card, Sagittarius, so lots of movement happening as well. You know, lots of things. Once again, it's a bit of that karmic energy. If you get out what you put in, if you're not putting in, well, you're not going to get out in your relationship. The other person will just shut down and go, oh, I've had enough. And then that's not going to be any good for anybody. So let's see what's going on that you're not realising. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is a Gemini card. So indeed, you know, and Gemini, you need to listen to the message of the Knight of Swords, because he can come in sometimes quite abruptly, disrupt everything for everybody, and then leave. So it's that kind of energy that really can turn people upside down, and then the Gemini person will go, oh, what happened? But it's like, no, you've got to be a little less impulsive maybe. So this may visit you too this time, where things suddenly come out of nowhere. Expect the unexpected, so to speak, coming in, but very Geminian. So just be mindful of, have you been guilty, I'll say, it's not the right word, but have you been guilty of this kind of behaviour where you just, oh, you gush and say, yes, this is great, and then suddenly next day you think, oh, no, I'm not really feeling it now, I think I'll just go, you know, and just leave the other person with their hands in there going, what was that about? So, mindful. Okay, let's see how others see you, particularly with this Gemini card here, 2 Geminis. And we have the Queen of Swords. So this female, no, she's your sort of female energy too. But the female Queen of Swords is she's a kind of more of a widow person. So she's been through all that hard time. So she's just like, nah, I'm not putting up with any crap. If you do that, you're out. And she uses that sword just to cut through all the crap. She doesn't like it, and she'll tell you. So people are looking at you like that too. So being very decisive about things, no more sort of being very mindful of impulsivity, because it does hurt other people. And hence the Queen of Swords can be seen as a bit of a bitter woman. But that's because she's been dealt some sort of pretty hard taskmaster cards in her time. So other people see you like that. So maybe that is a great thing that you have kind of managed to get your handle on some of these errant energies. Let's see what you're feeling positive about. 3 of Pentacles, so working well with others, spiritual learning. So who's the teacher and who's the student in your relationship? Who's the boss and who's the one that just learns? Are you the teacher or are you the student? This has to be really considered. It's a minor card, but actually it's quite major, because it talks about your spiritual connection with other people, and in your relationships itself it talks about that. So, you know, examining what you teach them or what they teach you, and it has to be sort of a two-way street, not just all one big boss like the Emperor. No, it's got to be 50-50. Beautiful card. It also talks about working well with others. So if you can work well with others in your relationships, you can also do it in your personal relationship as well. Final outcome is, oh, I've gone a bit over, sorry. 8 of Cups. Time to walk away from a relationship that is no longer sustaining you. It's just not sustaining you. So it's sort of saying, time to walk away. Nothing can be done here until something happens. Somebody changes the way they look at things, the way they do things in their relationships. So that will be the outcome. So that'll be very interesting to see, Gemini, see how you can navigate your way through this. Okay. I'm going to put your clarifier, I feel, of my Wisdom of Avalon Oracle cards on that Knight of Swords, because that's your Gemini energy, and I feel like it can be a bit harsh, seem a bit harsh what I interpreted it, but that is from past experience as well, of just things in life So let's have a look, and please give us a clarifier for that. Okay, Gemini, let's see what is underneath, what you are not expecting. The Swan. Transformation, trusting the psychic gifts. So this is your little clarifier. This card represents a transformation from one state to another, from the ugly duckling to the beautiful swan. This signals a period of growth that will ultimately be life-changing. The swan says that you may change so much that you may not recognise yourself in the end. More important, it is time to honour and love this change within yourself, for then only the most beautiful reflection will shine back at you from the mirror of your life. The swan says, dive in. You will love who you have become. It also reminds you that you need to trust your intuition and your psychic gifts to guide you as you go through the process of wonderful and ultimate change. The swan is the companion of the high priestess, who has the ability to part the mists and that serve the separate Avalon from the physical world. So the Avalon is like a spiritual realm, really, and physical world is where we live on this earth. The swan can dive into the lake on her behalf and find treasure that the human eyes cannot see. The swan reminds you to see with your heart and listen with your spirit, and the whole world can be magically transformed. That is so lovely. It's all about transformation, timing, karmic debt, control, big things. Let's see how that sits with you, Gemini. Thank you so much for listening.